Well, it is a bright and beautiful morning here in Oliver, British Columbia, which is north of Okanagan, Washington, but not too far across the US-Canada border in central BC. I'm here to drive Area 27, which was designed by F1 champ and Indy 500 winner Jacques Villeneuve. A private club, Area 27, opened in 2016, and it looks to be a lightning fast track. It's 3 miles with 257 feet of elevation change, 4 long straights, 16 turns, 9 lefts and 7 rights. There are some fast sweepers, banked corners, increasing radius and decreasing radius corners. Turn 7 looks really intriguing. From turn 6, you head uphill to the entry of turn 7 and then dive into 11 degrees of banking. For perspective, turns 13 and 14 at Zandvoort are about 19 degrees, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway has 9-degree turns. Granted, turn 7 at Area 27 is not as long and as fast as the corners at Indy or Zandvoort, but the degree of banking is significant, and when I had my Alfa in the right position, felt much like riding the rails of a fast roller coaster. Per usual, I spent some time on YouTube trying to get familiar with the circuit. It's really important this trip, as I only have 1 day to figure out the line and get after it. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to 2 minutes and 20 seconds looks to be like a pretty solid time. I did find a 2:09 turned in by a driver in a Porsche GT3 RS. My first time on this track, if I can get anywhere under 2:45, I'm gonna feel pretty good. And if I can get close to 2:30, I'm gonna be really happy. I just picked up my Giulia from Prova Motorsports a couple of days ago. Chris Benny and his crew changed the oil and the filter, did a pre-track day inspection, and she's in good shape, and I'm hoping she can handle the extreme temps without any problems. My Giulia's been super reliable, but her electronics do get a bit temperamental under extreme conditions. She throws an air coat once in a while on really hot days, and the weather report said temps would top out at about 95, and it's already 92, and it isn't even 9 a.m., so I'm expecting it will be over 100 today. On-track temperatures could be as high as 120. Fingers crossed that I won't have any issue. I've got a new set of Hoosier R7s today, and I'll be running a new set of brake pads as well. Aside from the exceptionally annoying fingernails on the chalkboard screeching during daily driving, I really like the Ray Bestos ST43s I've been running. I've abused the hell out of them to the tune of 20 plus track days, and they've held up well. And now it's time for something new. I've got a new super secret set of brake pads designed for my rotors specifically, and I hope to be able to share details with you in the near future. I'll report back as soon as I can. Honestly, I don't feel like I drove all that well at Area 27. The temperature reached 109 in the paddock, and I'm guessing the on-track temperature was well over 130. The heat coming off my rotors was pushing 600 degrees, and my engine was well over 300. I felt like I was dressed to survive a night at the top of Mount Everest, curled up inside of a sleeping bag, wrapped inside a polar bear hide, inside a sweat lodge in the middle of the Sahara Desert. I've always had deep respect for the elite drivers, but damn, the heat kicked my motherfucking ass after a few 20-minute sessions, and they go out and race for hours. I am not worthy to wax Lewis Hamilton's car. In any case, I'll talk you through a lap starting after turn 16, headed down the front straight across the start-finish line to turn 1. There's a slight decline as you enter the turn 1 braking zone, so the apex is a bit difficult to see. But if you get the car in the correct position and get on the throttle early, you can absolutely fly down the half-mile straight towards turn 2 at 140 to 150. Turn 2 is a decent-sized sweeper, and I'm sure you can maintain a lot of speed through it. On this day, however, I was just trying to keep my Giulia on the track. From there, it's pretty hard on the brakes to set up the car for turn 3, which is almost a full hairpin. I found by braking late and hard, I could catch slower drivers and accelerate past them towards turn 4 and 5. The combination is basically one long corner, and there's a dip in the middle where the apex of turn 5 drops out of sight for a moment. It will definitely get your heart pumping until you figure out the line and are able to trust you position the car in the right spot. Turn 6 is a fast right-hander, and you immediately start to climb uphill to the entry of turn 7. The 11 degrees of banking and the downhill exit is amazing and my favorite turn of the circuit. Once I crossed the crest of the hill, my Giulia pressed into the bank and sprinted out of the exit. was the one turn that felt solid and in control consistently throughout the day. Turns 8 and 9 are opposing 90-degree corners. The challenge here is that the entry to turn 9 is uphill and blind. Took me a while to figure out where to line the car up so I could get through this section quickly with confidence. Get it over to the right side of the track, turn in a bit early to hit the apex, and then drift out to the right edge of the track before heading towards turn 10. You hit the entrance to turn 10 after coming down the hill from 9, and there isn't much to it really. Hit the apex, drift out to the left side of the track to set yourself up for turn 11, another blind entry. It straightens earlier than I expected, and I think I can make up some time here if I put the car in the right position and get on the throttle early. A full hairpin, turn 12 requires hard braking on entry. This is another section of the track where I found if I brake late and hard, I can pass a lot of cars accelerating out of the turn, hitting about 120 to 130 down the back straight towards turn 13, where I was able to maintain decent speed. More hard braking for turn 14, which is another hairpin, and then trying to get through 15 and 16 as smooth as possible so I could get on the accelerator early and gain speed down the front straight. If none of this makes sense, chalk it up to the heat. My memory's a bit blurry even as I review my GoPro footage, which by the way, is seriously limited because the heat caused them to malfunction. One thing the heat didn't seem to affect, my Alfa. 0 issues, no air codes, and it felt like she could have gone harder and faster if I could have managed it. So for sure I'm going back to drive the track again. My plan is to get there much earlier in the season before the temperature gets so damn high. What I'm finding is that while day 1 on a new track is fun, by the 2nd or 3rd day I'm able to find my groove, get after it, and then the fun really ramps up. I'll be counting the days until next season.